almost everybody thinks that they're just like being a human the wrong way because it's the way they're doing it. And so they're looking at everybody else and thinking, oh, they've figured something else out that I haven't, so I must be being a human the wrong way. And so it's that shame thing. It's like when we are trained into defaulting to shame, we're always going to assume we're doing something wrong and being someone wrong. And so this work of, wait, my body's a person, they have information for me, I can talk to them, shifts it again into this relational model of making it so that we don't have to default to the shame we were trained to default in, and we can at least, again, shift to compassion and curiosity and this permission and this agency that people discover of this recognition that, like, I don't think there's a right way to be a human person beyond like, don't harm others. Beyond that, there's really no correct way to be a person. And I think that the shame, again, that's linked to the body objectification we've been indoctrinated into. It's that shame that's keeping us from giving ourselves that permission and agency to be like, I can just relax and rest in being exactly who I am.
Yeah. Wow. That's like life-changing, because I've had a lot of realizations recently too about just how like we're always kind of striving to have a certain level of whatever idea of perfect we have, of like, once I have this going in check and once I'm doing this and like trying to match up to that view that we think somehow we think everybody else has that figured out, and we're like projecting that outside of ourselves, and once I get there, then I can finally, you know, whatever that is for that person. And I've learned more and more in my life that everyone around us, like, we're totally just projecting that idea of having it figured out, or like how, like, what it looks like to be healthy or what, and like we've been given this idea that doesn't exist. Like no one is living that, like no one is doing that. So if we can just be honest with like, okay, this is what this is what it wants, like even sexually speaking, like I don't want this in the way I think I should. Like, can I just have acceptance through that first and say, okay, like, this is okay. This is what I'm feeling. So
many people aren't having the sex they want to be having because they are trying to have the sex that they think they should be having. And it's in my brain too. And it's so frustrating. And it's, again, having this really specific vantage point of like people feeling safe enough to come to me and talk to me about in like intimate details of their sex lives with themselves or with other people has allowed me to see that thing I just said really clearly, and then also see it in myself really clearly, and try as best I can to be compassionate and loving and communicative with the information my body has for me, and stop trying to hold myself to a certain standard and just get curious about what actually brings me pleasure.